In this video, we're going to clean off a fence, make a mistake, watch some neat slow-mo, and kill a compressor before this fence gets completely stained. To start off, the newer portion of the fence had no grass beside it, and when it rained, it splashed up some sandy dirt. And so we have to get that cleaned off before staining. My original intention was to use this electric pressure washer for the whole light cleaning of the dirt and deep cleaning of the old fence. But then this started happening. So I switched over to a different nozzle, and the same thing happened. So I just decided to use the regular hose spray nozzle. I think the issue with the pressure washer not working properly may have been just air pockets in the water line, because after using the regular spray handle, I hooked it up to the pressure washer again and it seemed to be working alright. And now comes the time to get every single one of these panels cleaned off, and I must say it was very satisfying to do. I used the 360 spinning nozzle, and here's a close-up of what that looks like. It's a funny thing with camera frame rates how it made it look. And now finally for the last bit to clean off. And here's what it looks like with the old fence being pressure washed and dried beside the new fence. Still has that green tint from the pressure treat. I used this Harbor Freight air sprayer gun and connected a water filter to prevent any condensation mixing in with the stain. This is where I made my mistake, and I wanted to try Thompson's water seal in the natural cedar stain. Well, the color of this stain, as you can see here, I was looking at it and it just looked terrible to me. So after thinking about it for a minute, I decided I was going to change gears and go back to the store to look for a different cedar stain. I settled on this cheaper oil stain that is found at Menards, and to me an oil stain makes a lot more sense, for one because it absorbs into the wood really well, and also because oil is a great repellent of water. For comparisons, I did the first fence panel that already had the Thompson seal on it, and then I did the rest of the panel beside it so we could compare all three together. And as you can tell, at least in my opinion, the oil coat was looking far better than that Thompson's water seal. So the process began on getting this whole fence stained. Now this was definitely giving my air compressor that's not made for this job a major workout. And here is in real time how short amount of time it took for the air compressor to kick on from when I started spraying. Yeah, so I could barely get one single panel done before it actually kicked on, but I would push it until it just didn't have enough pressure to continue and sit and wait. I decided to go ahead and film a few shots in 120 frames per second because it just looks really neat, in my opinion. But let's go back to making things go a little faster. Now again, this air compressor is not made to do this, and I did end up pushing it to its extreme limit, and this is what happened. Turns out the fan melted through and the piston seal broke. Fortunately, while waiting for parts to fix it, I was able to borrow an air compressor from a family member and continue to finish up the fence. And because Indiana has nearly 4 seasons in a day, you have to keep adjusting how many layers you have on. Wouldn't you know, when I was down to the very end, I ran out in the spray canister. And finally the time came for the last strip of stain to be applied. So here's what we started with before, and I am loving the results of after. There is a little bit of difference in between the tones from the new and old fence, but I am thrilled with the results. Speaking of 4 seasons in a week, we got about 4 inches of snow 2 days after 70-degree weather, and I just loved the look of this stain against the white.